Hey, hi, hello. Things are bad here in the US and they're going to get worse. But one of the easiest ways to combat this is to be aware of the ways in which things are breaking bad. One of the Trump administration's most recent shots across the bow was aimed in the direction of people with mental illnesses and mental disabilities. Back on February 13th, Trump signed an executive order creating the Make America Healthy Again Commission, which at face value doesn't sound like a bad thing until you read into what its goals are. Because when we peel back the exceedingly thin veneer of concern for the physical and mental well-being of the American people, we find such language as calling things like ADHD, autism, and asthma a dire threat to the American people and the American way of life. We find the commission being ordered to aggressively combat the rising rates of mental health disorders in the United States, as well as being ordered to assess the threat being posed by the prescription of mental health medications like SSRIs, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, and stimulants. Right, let's run the tape back and play that again. ADHD, autism, and asthma are listed specifically as dire threats to the American people and the American way of life that the commission is ordered to aggressively combat. Oh, and just in case you didn't know, SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, are medications given to people with things like depression and PTSD. These types of medications, things like SSRIs, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, modulate the levels of certain neurotransmitters, things like serotonin and dopamine, to keep them at what are considered traditionally healthy levels. The ADHD medication that I was on throughout elementary, middle, and high school helped to regulate my dopamine and norepinephrine levels to allow me to be able to focus and function in a classroom setting. I'm lucky enough to not need to be on that medication anymore, but many people who take things like ADHD meds or SSRIs, mood stabilizers, antipsychotics are on them for life. Calling those types of medications and the people who take them a dire threat to the American people and the American way of life is the language of eugenics. They're just one small step away from calling us all feeble-minded and bringing back Buck versus Bell. Make absolutely no mistake, despite the Make America Healthy Again Commission's stated goal of improving the physical and mental well-being of the average American, their intent is to kill off people with mental illnesses and disabilities. This is eugenics, this is genocide, and this is unacceptable. Have a day, and I hope that you continue to have days.